I'm standing next to India's most expensive and premium electric SUV, the new Mercedes EQE. We have it exclusively here on Tech Today. You might have seen it on a media drive up in the mountains in Kashmir, but we want to put it through its paces in the traffic of Mumbai. Tell you what the range is all about, whether it's a true bang for your buck, how does it compare with its rivals, and most importantly, what makes it so special. When the EQS 580 was launched, we had it first here on Tech Today. And if you're a loyal viewer of the show, you'll know that through the course of 2022, it was our top EV on Tech Today. This one is the younger cousin. It's not a sedan, although the EQE globally is also a sedan. This is the SUV variant here in India. And there's a lot happening on the outside, but so much more happening on the inside. Honestly, this is more like a technology express, so let me walk you through it. The EQE 500. Let me just walk you around the car and tell you a little bit about the design. Now, if you've seen our EQS review, and you've seen a bunch of them on the road now already, well, they've managed to maintain that as well. I think with Mercedes now, the focus is on aerodynamics, very, very sleek designs, nothing like their ICE counterparts, and then all the tech on the inside, which is actually very useful, and that's why we're featuring it on Tech Today. You see this lovely central faux grille. It has a constellation of stars right here, Mercedes logo here, massive electric signage telling you that this is from the EQ lineup. Then you have, well, these headlights with 1.3 million pixels, smart lamps right there, which will obviously project basis what the oncoming traffic situation is like, adjust automatically, but that kind of stuff you see in the car as well. From the front, it doesn't look like an SUV, and that might be something that you won't be very pleased about. For that, you need to come onto the side of the car where you see its real dimensions. Sitting on 20-inch alloy wheels, that's the first giveaway that this is an SUV from the Mercedes stables. If you look at the camera system, obviously there are some buttons over here. Click right on it and you get the most high definition camera you will see on any EV. You have a bunch of cameras that really show up over here, 360. The animations are spot on. Of course, the EQE comes with a bunch of drive modes which can be accessed by hitting this button right here. Economy is where you'll get the most range, but not the most punch. Settle for a little lesser range and you can head into comfort. Speaking of interiors, it is plush, it is refined, and it feels like $1,000,000. There's leather over here, two tones over there, this hyper screen which is like an IMAX experience by itself. The real proof is in the pudding. So let's take this for a quick drive and I'll tell you a little bit more about the EQE. You might have seen videos of this car in very scenic locations, but the real practical use case is in the city, and in this sort of start-stop traffic, there's a couple of things that you need to consider. Obviously, if you're in Mumbai or Delhi and you're driving this in the night, it can do 0 to 100 in under 5 seconds. It is a performance electric SUV. Now, when you speak about battery and performance, this one comes with a 90.5 kilowatt charger. And Mercedes claims you can get up to 550 kilometers. In the real world, it's more like 400 to 450 kilometers on a single charge. And when you talk about EVs and Tesla coming to India and a supercharging network being set up, look, Mercedes already has its teeth in the game with nearly 30 to 40, I think 35, 36 fast charging stations across in different locations. Some of them will give you 60 kilowatt fast charging. Some of them will go all the way up to 180 kilowatt fast charging. So we've established that this is a great car to drive in the city and even for those short outstation trips. But is it a good car to be chauffeured around in? Look, I honestly hate being driven around. I prefer driving myself. But a lot of people spending so much money might want to be chauffeured around, especially in the big cities. And well, if you go by seating right now, again, I don't understand why that side rail is there. There's enough well, knee room, leg room, even though I've pushed this seat right to the back, up on top, especially when you open the sunroof, there's enough height as well. There's not much under thigh support, and honestly, if there's two people like me sitting over here, maybe a kid could sit in the middle. The other thing is, if you really want to relax on a long journey and enjoy that soft suspension that the EQE offers, there's no reclining feature. And that might be something that might put off a lot of older Merc customers, especially when they want to relax after a hard day's night. But other than that, the rear seat experience is not such a bad one. Yes, there could have been more space, there could have been more tech on display, and a little bit more comfort. But like I said, I think the EQE 500 is a car to be driving around it, not to be driven around it. Now that you've watched this electric review on Tech Today, it's time for the $1 million question, or shall I say, for the 1.39 crore rupee question. Does this SUV justify its price tag? If you compare it to its rivals or peers, the Jaguar I-Pace or the Audi Q8 e-tron or the BMW iX, all very competent vehicles we've driven on the show and given you reviews of. You can always log on to techtoday.in and get some of those reviews, and of course check out our social media channels. It is 10% or 15% more expensive than them at 1.39 crore rupees. My 2 pence over there is, if you are an enthusiast and you like the Mercedes approach to electric, the aerodynamic design, then that's not much of a difference for you. But the real question is performance. Where does this particular car shine through? That is in refinement. The one thing it does not have is a comfortable rear seat. So if that's why you're getting this particular SUV, electric SUV, then that's not the solution. If you're looking for where tech meets refinement, that's where the EQE 500 comes in. It's an all-purpose, one-stop shop car. All the amazing qualities of the EQS, one of the best EVs we've driven on Tech Today, have been embodied. That DNA has been passed on to the EQE SUV. It's got nearly 450 kilometers of range. It is absolutely mind-blowing when it comes to being tech-loaded. That's what the EQE 500 is all about. So if you're an enthusiast who wants a one-stop shop tech-loaded solution for all your trips within the city and even outstation, the short ones within 450 kilometers, well then the EQE 500 is a very, very refined choice.